Classic Radio Row. Comes over from the last interview, running late. Oh, it just makes me smile. All of it. Us not even getting him because he had to go somewhere else. Oh, just handlers freaking out. Like, we got to go. Nope, it's not started yet. We can't start with him. We have to go. He's got an 11, 11:15, 11:30. Love it. So jealous. I just want to smell the room.
If we send you next year, can we book...
I'll go right now just for tomorrow. Can I?
But, like, I want to book you on a tour. Like, can we get you doing, like...
The Heaven Tour should be called.
Like 10 radio hits. You're talking to Kansas City. You're talking to Atlanta. You're talking to Boston. And we pitched Chris Cote as a guest for several shows.
I should tell
Sandman.
I should tell the audience, or Cocky Schefter. I'd love Cocky Schefter to play Radio Row. What just happened is we were supposed to do something with Meadowlark Media's own Andrew Hawkins, who has a partnership with us and DraftKings, his friend, and we will have him around here more and more. And he came in wearing really a bedazzled, I don't even know what the color was, but it looked like a jacket worth more than most wardrobes around here.
Dano, it was like a cognac color, like a beautiful ostrich color.
But I'm sure that was a very expensive jacket. Like, he looked like money. And we kept him waiting because it's been a little bit of chaos, and because God bless football, it's roaring to life now. It is humming now. There's coal in the furnace, and now Billy, fueled by his fears and 20-hour work days chasing Stugotz around, they are now producing content, and they all sat down, and then Andrew Hawkins had to go. He didn't have time for us. Somebody we're paying to be a part of all of our coverage. I haven't seen Jessica all week. Jessica's supposed
She's at
to
the golf tournament.
Oh, she was sitting on the irons throne.
So jealous.
The People's Major starts today. Did we tee off? Put it on.
Has she now just outgrown the show because she's frolicking with Golic at these big parties, and she's going all over the place with Golic and Smetty? Are you not there with all this FOMO because Jessica's climbed the top of our talent rankings by stitching herself to the Golic?
I'm jealous of all of it. I would have been Danny. I'd be the table if you needed me to. I just want to be there. I just want to walk Radio Row. The tournament starts today. The 16th hole is probably so much fun. I got FOMO of all of it.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? Next year, we go to Vegas. They stay.
Yeah.
Roy's always in it for a free trip.
I don't know about this one, Dan. I'm too tired to have FOMO.
Oh, Roy,
I what happened last week. I'm exhausted.
I don't know how you're still tired.
I'm still tired. I am washed.
You're so
surprise me one time. Once in one day.
Shut up, Chris. Surprise. I'm challenging you to surprise us.
I'm
just
washed.
one damn time.
Surprise.
One goddamn time.
Washed,
no, it's so bad.
And dried.
You can't be somebody who drank so much this weekend and are so
It was
old,
last week already.
so fossilized that you want to go to Super Bowl week and you can't hang for a weekend without wrecking 4 work days. You've been asleep at the microphone for 4 days because you drank so much brown this weekend.
I'm older than you, Dan. That's where we are.
I'm drunk right now.
I am legitimately drunk right now.
I believe the both of you.
This is sad that Roy has arrived.
I took 3 caps.
How is Roy 100 years older than anyone in here? How is that possible? You cannot get wrecked. He didn't drink that much. He didn't get like alcohol poisoning from drinking.
I've been speaking to Dan. He's been a cartoon octopus for all 3 hours today. I'm just fucking riding with it.
We joked on the NHL postgame stuff that Roy, when he was born, was 20.
Yeah.
Like, Roy was just born 20 years old.
Came
I
out
was
of the room,
35.
hello?
Hello, Mom.
Father?
Blow it out your ass.
No smile.
None of your goddamn business.
Soaked it in through my skin, the environment around me.
But I said this last year, and I meant it.
Say it again.
And I was wrong. Because I said nothing is stopping me from going to the Super Bowl last year, and everything stopped me. And I'm here. And someone gave me a Utah trip instead, which is the worst consolation prize this company's ever offered.
I thought and you're going to have to forgive me on this. I thought at one point when we were building out Meadowlark Media, and we may yet still do this one day, that we would be able to hop around every 6 weeks or so and land somewhere else in the country. I thought while we built this, that's what we were going to do, and I hope.
We have been. Roy popped up at Roberto Luongo's Hall of Fame induction.
No, but the thing I wanted to do was as a show. The problem with that is it requires now 75 people anytime we go anywhere.
Yeah, except for the Super Bowl where we send like one producer. It's odd. But what I'm telling you right now, please send me to Vegas next year. Please. I want to go.
Well, I should just announce now, this is, at least in part, we got to blame, as we always do around here, Feldman and Sales. Hey, Feldman, the show goes to the Super Bowl in Vegas next year, sold by DraftKings with like a ride that looks legitimate. Maybe without me, I might just stay right back here. But the rest of the show can go because I hate it so much. I could just stay here by myself and watch you guys. I would not have FOMO.
Vegas.
I would. Roy, you shut up, Roy.
Okay, you're
Roy,
right. Yeah,
I will
absolutely
not
right.
give you
Roy can
5
stay.
minutes
I'm
of
a
Vegas.
hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. I'm sorry.
Roy will still be recovering from NHL
That's
All-Star
right.
Weekend a
I
year
should
from
be-
now.
Yeah, you're right.
If I give Roy Vegas, we won't have functioning words from him for 7 years. Given the rate that we've got, it's Thursday. Look, man, I've done some drinking in my life. I have never had so much to drink that Thursday, over the weekend, that Thursday I can't function correctly.
I was hospitalized one time because I got diverticulitis because I drank an entire handle of Crown after some poor decision being made to eat the Aria gazpacho.
Thursdays when you get back on the horse.
I was back to work in 4 days.
like Thursdays, all right, I'm back. Whereas Daddy needs a Drinksie.
Yeah.
Drank for 5 days straight.
I was hospitalized. They almost cut out 14 feet of my intestine.
What is Thursday?
And I was back and better than ever, quicker than you've been.
What is Thursday? I want to understand. I want you swaggering into a room with a feather bow and explaining
Finger
to me-
guns. Daddy needs a Drinksie. The local watering hole. We've all got our local watering hole.
Yep.
You walk in, finger guns. Hey, Johnny. It's been a long one.
Johnny,
Super
huh?
Bowl week. Daddy needs a stiffy.
Yep.
Whoa.
Hey,
What? I'm sorry. What?
Wait a
What was
minute.
that?
That's
Wait, what?
totally different.
I think
Sandman.
a stiff drink. A stiffy.
Yeah.
Sandman
That's what we
over
call him in my
I
watering
hold
hole.
up 3 fingers. I'm like, it has to hit here.
Hell yeah.
Has to hit up here. 3-finger pour. Eat.
Come on, Roy. Get up on that horse.
I'm riding.
God bless football has now officially and finally roared to life.
It's Thursday.
It took a minute, and this happened sometimes.
It's Thursday.
It happened sometimes. I was proud of I was proud of us yesterday
Sandman?
for having a microphone, for having a functioning microphone, and it was Wednesday. It was
We gutted one out yesterday.
But now, Stugotz and Billy are saying they've got the stories, they've got the interactions. They're very excited about whatever's coming tonight. I don't know how much work they're actually doing. They're having fun. They're there 15 and 16 and 17 hours a day following around the Golics. I don't have a lot of proof that the content to now is something that has roared to life. But today, we're promising people an explosion, correct? We are going to bury people in coverage the next couple of days. We're going to be live around here tomorrow on YouTube, and we're just going, because we've got to make our money back, sending Stugotz out there to commit whatever fraud on the company he's committing. We're just going to take every guest tomorrow.
I think God Bless Football has 32 guests the next 2 days.
I looked at the show calendar. I cannot believe it.
It's insane.
Too many boxes. Too many boxes.
How many hours are in a day? How do they do this?
Well,
They took 7 yesterday. They had 7 interviews yesterday.
where
mad.
are they going?
In God Bless Football, I believe a big one with Christopher Mad Dog Russo is airing today in the God Bless
that.
Football episode. That's a fun one.
Very excited about that. But it's just, look at the calendar, Dan. It's remarkable. They're color-coded. It's just all the colors of the rainbow.
No, they are getting
Well, don't show everything.
in the next couple.
Take my word for it.
In the next couple of days,
Whoa.
they're getting everybody in football. God bless football. Look, this is a serious podcast. We make fun of the fact that they're sloppy, but that's part of the charm. And we have allowed God bless football. We've left them to their own devices to grow a big and popular thing, because Billy and Mikey A take great care with the production of that thing. And it's, believe it or not, hard as it is for me to say, given that it's Stugotz involved, it's some of the best stuff we're doing that's on brand for Billy and Stugotz. So this is their big showcase. They demanded to go. Billy doesn't actually want to be there. Babysitting Stugotz, Whitty, Mike, you guys can speak. Whitty, you haven't even been here that long. Billy was dreading this week. Billy knew that he would be chasing around Stugotz all week, and it would be a mess as he tried to interview everybody in the history of football. But evidently, they got everybody in the history of football. They got everybody.
I think they got a football. Yeah.
They're interviewing a football.
I believe so. They tried to. They tried to.
Star of the show.
Yeah.
The Duke.
They've got a popular podcast, and Billy is rising as a media personality. As Mike Ryan tries to corner the scoopage game on niche stuff, football, and just specifically Messi to Miami.
Go to my shoshies.
Nothing else. Billy and Stugotz are taking out a corner of the football world with a podcast that has gotten very popular very fast. And you see all of these people coming into this space now, right? The Kelsey brothers have a monster podcast on their hand that they created in a year because they're great and people want to hear from these two guys, and they're fun talkers and they're themselves. And so
Jason is more fun for me than Travis. Like Jason's every time I see a
Travis
clip
is
of
the
that,
stiff. Travis is the stiff
I don't know if
comparatively.
he's a-
Comparatively.
yeah.
Comparatively, I guess. But the great thing about this Super Bowl is we're guaranteed a Kelsey victory speech, because those two guys have had the best victory speeches since like the 90s, and it's going to be incredible either way. I hope Jason Kelsey dusts off the same costume that he had.
Jason's the one that drives, so that's kind of what you're speaking to. But I think Travis is also good. Like, he says interesting, fun things.
This is not an indictment in
It
any
sounded
way
like
of
it.
Travis. I'm just saying, as entertainers, the both of them. Jason's the center, but Jason's funnier. Jason's wilder.
Travis just called the mayor of Cincinnati a jabroni.
Yes. And Travis is also fun. Like, he did the dating show in Kansas City, infuriated Andy Reid. By the way, God bless football got Andy Reid. They're going to continue to kick ass out there now. They just procrastinate. They just kick the can down the road. We'll get to it. And now it's just going to be a fireworks show of so much content that there's no way. I defy the audience to listen to all of it.
I think a couple of the interviews, they're going to just overlap and play at the same time to save time. Like, you're going to hear them talking to Andy Reid and Deebo Samuel simultaneously.
I defy anyone in our audience to listen to all of those interviews because there's so many of them. Nobody's been left out. I saw the list. I saw the calendar. It's inundated. It's enough guests for a year.
I'll go through what they did yesterday. They did Jonathan Taylor, Deebo Samuel, DeMarcus Ware, Chris Mad Dog Russo, Matthew Berry, Solomon Thomas, and Jamar Chase. That was in one day. Ripping through them. And I like Chris's idea. I think they should do it like stereo style, where you put Solomon Thomas in the left ear, Jamar Chase in the right ear, and see which one grabs your eye. Maybe take out the right AirPod and you listen to the left one for that particular segment.
It'd be like one of those
football.
silent discos where, like, you're all listening to different pods. Like, I'm listening to Solomon. What? Give me another drink. Oh, you're listening to Andy? What part are you at? Nice. And you just keep dancing.
Daddy needs a Drinksie.
I was just going to do that.
Boys, a lot of stuff happening during the Super Bowl, and something kind of snuck through.
Yeah.
And I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, wait, is this real or is this The Onion? I can't tell. And Aaron Rodgers is supposedly going into a little house and being basically in solitary confinement for 4 days in a darkness retreat of some sort, where he's going to go into a little house, turn off all the lights, have no electricity, and just sit there for 4 days straight.
And just assess.
And he says once he gets out, then he'll figure out what he wants to do next season.
That dude is tripping balls.
Yeah, right? He has to be,
He's
right?
getting so high.
He has to be. There's no other way to do it.
That's he came up with that idea while high. And his whole idea
Didn't he say that he's done this before?
I'm just going to lock myself in a room and be super high and not have any, because I'm going to get so high that I may eat my roommate's intestines high.
I think
I can't be around anybody. That's how high he's
I think
getting.
McAfee kind of pushed back and was like, you guys are going to be doing a little weed? And he made it seem like he wasn't going to be doing. I mean,
Yeah, he
I'm
makes it
with you,
seem that
Mike.
way.
Like, I'm with you. He's probably going to be doing something.
Anybody else, like, I have this here. If any other franchise quarterback comes out and reveals that, oh yeah, I'm a big drugs guy now before the season, and follows it up with a season that really dips in form from the previous season, it's not falling the way that it does for Aaron Rodgers. He lives like that's white privilege. Can you imagine if Kyler Murray came out and said, "Oh yeah, big drugs guy now"?
Yeah, big ayahuasca.
Yeah.
guy now.
I love drugs.
I'm tripping
yeah,
balls.
man. Oh, I went to Joshua Tree. I'm tripping balls now, and I'm a shittier quarterback. How's that? Like Aaron Rodgers skated on that.
It is a different time now with like psychedelics and stuff. Like,
But it's becoming more open for sure, but not in the NFL.
It's okay for Aaron
I'm with
Rodgers
you.
to do it.
I'm with you. That it.
Like,
What if
imagine
Andy Dalton
imagine
did
if Lamar Jackson said, "Oh yeah, huge into drugs this offseason.
Yeah.
Really found myself." What am I missing?
Yeah.
I'll tell you which part of this you might be missing because I don't even think it's the racial part of it. But Aaron Rodgers, as an eccentric that has been pointed out to be more eccentric than we ever knew, he went out of his way a few years ago to go to Mina Kimes' apartment so that she would write about him because he was craving a different relationship with America. He wanted America to know who he was a little bit better as he started down this path of trying to find love, trying to love himself, and going through a lot of different avenues. Ayahuasca is not the same as some of these other drugs. Ayahuasca is supposed to be, it's a spiritual journey that you're supposed to be chasing, not a high, but where you would go to breathing exercises and meditative stuff, calm your mind, love yourself. So Aaron Rodgers is saying, be curious, not judgmental. We're all on our own path, and doing things like this helps me find a greater sense of peace and love for life. He says of a 4-day darkness retreat.
I didn't know that Dan was representing Big Ayahuasca.
Wow.
Jeez. What was that?
The lobbyists.
I've been wanting to do it. I've been wanting to do it because it's supposed to be a mental and spiritual.
All right, well, you're going to be a way shittier quarterback if you do.
You think so?
I mean, come on.
It's not a broken thumb on his hand. It's ayahuasca.
I'm saying he really skated on the revelation that he's a big ayahuasca guy now, and he sucked comparatively to the MVP winning season that he had prior.
But you don't think it has anything to do with you not understanding what ayahuasca is, or people not understanding?
I don't know what ayahuasca is because I've never done it.
But
I know what it's supposed to do, but I'm just saying he skated on that.
I'm saying part of it is the ignorance of that's not necessarily psychedelics. That's purge yourself, throw up. That's go and kill your ego. Like I'm telling you that in holistic places where they do things like 4-day darkness
people talk
retreats,
about shrooms. People talk about shrooms the same way.
But the 4-day darkness retreat is what I'm telling you is he late in his 30s, midlife time, as he searches for love, trying to date people and figure out who he is, and more peace at the core of who he is after having a lot of trouble with his family.
Yeah.
He's doing this particular drug not like you would use crack or mushrooms. He's trying to do this as part of a spiritual growth. I'm not advocating for this.
He likes to get high.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'd find reasons to rationalize it too, but I'm just saying, if a quarterback reveals to you before the season, big drugs guy now, has a bad season.
But he didn't say it like that. Like you're saying it.
No, he said it the way that Dan said it, which is, But
I think if Lamar Jackson came out and was like,
I've had trouble with relationships. You're 37 years old. That's welcome to Earth.
Can we get back to the actual darkness part though? Because you guys know how when you go to sleep, let's say you turn your lights off to go to sleep, your room's pitch dark, you can't see anything. But when you wake up in the middle of the night, your eyes have adjusted to the darkness, so you can kind of see your way to the bathroom. If you're doing this for 4 straight days, by like 12 hours in, are you just like, I'm good now? I can just see in this darkness.
You're daredevil.
You have X-ray vision.
And your pupils are obviously dilated enough as it is.
And just imagine when that light, after 4 days, like, you know how you like walk out in the sun sometimes and like imagine how long that adjustment period is of back into light after 4 days in the darkness.
I'm telling you, look, I think some of this stuff is super weird. I have a friend of a friend who went to Italy to sit by a tree for 30 days and not speak.
What?
Yes.
What? Sit by a tree and not speak?
Yes.
What a shitty trip.
You
couldn't have done that here?
This is what
you should hang out with me on the weekend.
It's got a tropical. There's a tree there.
I had all the same jokes because I'm like, what is that? Like, you can do any of that here. You could get to the center of your soul in silence. You don't have to go over there to do that. But You wouldn't you.
Your friend of a friend is an idiot. it's just
Hey,
dumb. I was when I was in my midlife crisis, I really got into Rasputin for some reason, and he took this like religious trek. That it saw him just stand still in a swamp for several days. And I was like, man, that sounds really shitty. And he got to his destination after the 7 days of a swamp, and he just found out all the dudes there were just banging each other. He's like, man, that's not what I expected. And he just had to walk back and do the same shit over again. I imagine the tree has a similar payoff. It's like, this seemed like a good idea.
Maybe. I have not checked back in with him to see if he was in some way spiritually altered. You do find it curious, do you not? Because I do. You can do all of these things without telling everybody. You can go on that spiritual quest, and now maybe he wants people to learn from it, or maybe he
confirmed
thinks there's a greater message in it. But the volunteering of what all of us would react to, right? Except the most spiritually enlightened among us. 4 days of darkness. That seems silly.
It sounds like
that seems nuts.
Well, you've read. I said this earlier. I've read these stories of people on these mind-altering drugs, or what Big Peyote guy over there says is not an alter. It's a liberating spirit thing. And then,
ayahuasca is not peyote.
Yeah, whatever.
Mike.
But you've read these stories, and occasionally, like your roommate's organs end up in the oven, and you're like, I didn't mean to. And when I heard that story, the 4 days of darkness, I'm like, he's getting on some hardcore shit that he just doesn't trust himself. Like, get all these sharp objects away, get people away from me. I turn off all the lights. 4 days, I'm gonna trip my balls off.
Did he say he's alone? Because I've got it as like a thing a lot of people can do, and it's just dark, so you can't see anything. So you're like bumping into people, and all of a sudden, some guy's like, "Holy shit, it's Aaron Rodgers! Oh, Aaron Rodgers is here!" And all of a sudden, he's like, "This is not what I wanted. This is the opposite."
Most people listening to this, I'm not wrong about this. Is this gender specific? Because this isn't as weird to me as it is to you guys. To hear him say that, even though I would question all these things of sitting by a tree for 30 days as well. But if you're trying to still your mind, if you're trying to do it through breath work, through meditation, if you're trying to put down whatever the pressures are in his life, which, yeah, I mean, we can laugh, but that seems like a hard job with a lot of responsibility.
Do you do the breathing stuff? Have you tried it?
Yes. I do it every morning now, and I have found that it separates me from stress. But I had to learn it after feeling really silly doing it.
You have to be good.
Not believing in it. It's always practice. I have not yet gotten good at it, but when I'm holding my breath and Jay Glazer talks about this on Fridays around here. That guy's got some self-loathing in him, in his patterns, and the breathing separates him from it. Again, I'm not here to convince people on the spiritual path. I just think it's interesting that Aaron Rodgers is this public about what Mike is saying after being very careful, and that position is very careful about its controversies. He's now out here begging to be misunderstood on I'm tripping balls, and I used to be the 2-time MVP, and now I'm not very good.
Yeah, I have heard that people actually get a buzz off of the breathing thing too. Because oxygen can get you high in concentrated doses, and so they kind of get buzz off of that. I tried that when I was going through my stuff, and all it got me was a lung infection.
How do they eat in this 4 days of darkness? Like, are they Uber Eatsing and they don't open their eyes when they open the door for the Uber Eats order?
It's a 4-day fast.
Like right here.
If you don't count the mushrooms.
So I'm trying to tip. Here, use my phone. You have to add the tip. I can't.
They're negative calories?
Is there anyone in our audience who's like, you guys sound silly? You guys mocking this is the easiest thing. It's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. I mean, you're speaking for the other side there, and I sound ignorant, and I do think that there is some liberating aspect to this too, but it's also a guy that has famously tried to paint a narrative about himself and steps in it every time he does.
And I would think that as part of that experience over the last 3 years, I mean, these people are human, right? If everyone listening to this, and Lord knows, Mike, I just would have never started breathing exercises or believed in any of that stuff until the pressures of building a business during a really anxious time in this country and in the world. Like, everyone listening to this, you're a little more anxious than you used to be, aren't you? And so everybody's sort of searching for what are the things that can separate me from this anxiety? I've never been this anxious of a person or whatever. And Aaron Rodgers, my guess is his last year was pretty unpleasant. Not just all of it, right? This is a guy who's cared about his image, and now he's getting dragged He's getting dragged by everyone as a joke because the last 3 years, I imagine, were pretty hard for him by his own doing.
Yeah, I feel a little bit bad. I'm stigmatizing stuff. I tried all sorts of things to try to get past my anxiety and my depression. Everything. I did not want to take medication for it at all. I staved off for years. I had numerous doctors tell me that I should take medication. I didn't want to do it because I stigmatized it so much. And I finally did it after multiple consults, and I feel tremendous. And I feel like an idiot for trying all the other stuff. But, I mean, to each their own. I'm just saying Aaron Rodgers kind of frames a narrative, and he was not very good last season. And the 4 Days of Solitude seems like another eccentricity of one of the more eccentric characters out there who's very clearly suffering from an identity crisis that I'm diagnosing him with.
And he's saying, be curious, don't be judgmental. I want to ask you guys this because Neil Brennan is really just, I think he is a creator for our times in comedy. Like just the stuff he makes is inventive and really cool. And he has done a lot of this stuff. He went to China. He does this in his last act. I think it's stayed in on Netflix. He was doing it as he rehearsed it, about how he went to China to get his skull like tapped because it was such a prison to just have the garbage, the darkness that was in there, that his desperation was such, trying to get out of his own skull, that he went to China to get his skull tapped with a horror, trying to just be at ease with who he was.
And what is a skull? I know, but Tony doesn't know what you're getting your skull capped mean.
Tapped. Like he was having a procedure done on his brain in China that was complicated,
surgical procedure,
hammer and a nail,
and dangerous in order to change his brain chemistry because he was that desperate.
And where does the whore come in?
Yes, that was poor.
Because I'm interested.
Poor pronunciation by me. He swears by ayahuasca. Swears by the transformative properties of doing this thing so that you could be closer to your spiritual center and balance. And everyone listening to this is just like, shut up, right? Shut up. Ayahuasca, ayahuasca, like we're going to defend.
There's plenty of bad trips. It's not always great.
Dan, I've got a great idea. You ready? Why don't you and all of us, everybody from the show, you take us all out to a retreat, Arizona, New Mexico, wherever it is you do this stuff.
4 days in the dark house?
rainforest.
Yeah, the tree in Italy.
In
Let's say
Italy.
that one.
And we all do an ayahuasca trip together so we can see each other for the first time for real. What
Yeah,
do you think about
Feldman, sell that.
I think you sort of ruin the spiritual nature of what it is you're aspiring to when you try to turn it into content.
Or just Witty does it and we all watch.
Yeah. It's just sometimes people project that stuff, but you know, I had a spiritual moment when I was on an edible at Magic Kingdom during Peter Pan, and I was just doing it for fun.
Well, aren't we headed to
It synced out great. Peter was like, "Here we go," and I was like, "Oh,
That
shit.
ride is trippy.
I'm over London."
Like, how far are we really?
Is that Nana? Oh God! Why does one of the mermaids look just like Ariel? Oh, they did that on purpose. This technology's old. Oh God, and that ride always gets stuck. Always gets stuck.
I love a good 10-second stop on a ride like that.
Yeah, but it's like the jerk. Like,
and
here we go.
it's the is this not working or is this like intentionally designed as part of the ride?
And then I was just like, man, Peter Pan really racist, like extraordinarily racist, super racist. Have you seen the indigenous peoples of Neverland? Very racist caricatures. Someone should do something about that.
Chris Cote, you would assume, would you not, that every night in the NBA and in many football games that you're watching, beyond the painkillers, there are dudes on edibles out there, right? At this point, there are people, because of the benefits of CBD, because of marijuana as a healer, would you not assume that every night in sports, somebody out there is...
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation.
You're good.
Wouldn't we assume that this is probably so by now? That many of the people you're watching in media are doing shows on edibles? Like, I mean...
Who would do that?
I mean, my God.
Terrible idea.
Wow.
Unprofessional.
Unless the show's Sunday night, like recapping football, then it's acceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for going to me on this. I do think that there are guys that are waking and baking. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some guys that wake up, smoke a joint, and then like 8 hours later, I don't think there's guys smoking like on the way to the arena, but yeah,
That's not true. That's for sure happened. But
Okay.
in the 30 for 30 with Randy Moss, he would say he would smoke 2 blunts before high school games and college games and possibly the NFL. Like, it's out there.
I would assume that this is replete throughout sports, like that. Not 8 hours before a game. No, like right before the game. What you think? You guys would be shocked by that if I told you a great percentage of some of the. Given the other drugs that they're using in football, you'd be shocked by that one. It's not like they're going to go off so that some people can be made sharper by these things.
I was just going to say, like, wouldn't it lead? Call me naive. Wouldn't it lead to a decline in performance?
Put on my mic. No. No. This is documented. What weed in some cases does is narrow your focus. So if you're focused on a specific task, if you're at left tackle and your focus is I am not going to let the SOB in front of me get to this quarterback, like it zooms you in.
You didn't watch the Tucker thing, did you?
What Tucker thing? I
The
don't even know what
Tucker
that
thing
means.
where he caped up for big tobacco and nicotine.
No, I missed that one. Sorry.
Well,
Do this? Do you know this?
I will admit that I've never played a men's softball game not high, but
I've seen it.
But Chris,
They
seriously,
don't want you to smoke because nicotine centers your focus. It gets you connected. And you start questioning things you shouldn't. Everyone should smoke.
according to my shorties.
Chris, a right fielder is spending 3 hours out there bored out of his mind. You don't
There's
think
a difference between me before my 7 p.m. beer league softball game and like I don't think that NBA players are smoking a blunt on the way to the game. You know, I
Right.
think maybe they did it before lunch at
you
like
don't-
12.
Which goes to the original point. Like, I don't trust that Aaron Rodgers ain't high while he's playing, right?
JuJu, put it on the poll, please, at LeBatardShow.
Altered.
The left fielder has an edible in his system, right?
Don't do that to Josh Willingham.
The hammer.
He wouldn't have done it back then. It would have been too taboo. It would have been too much stigma back then. But now I've got to think this stuff has been so normalized. I'm simply assuming. I'm not. Do I sound like an idiot here? I'm simply assuming that most guys in sports who are regularly smoking, it's not a big leap to an hour before the game, 2 hours before the game, I'm doing an edible. I'm spending time in the outfield, I'm going to do an edible. I'm bored out there. I don't think it's absurd. You guys do?
To your point, I'm not going to name names, but I knew people back in the day, and a player that played for the Marlins, I knew for a fact they were like, oh yeah, he's a starting pitcher, like smoking before every game, even when he starts.
We could talk to Samson about it. I'm sure he'll reveal.
But you
we're
guys,
not.
do you guys think it's too pristine? You guys think that that sports are so hard, and I do. This isn't an underestimation of sports. I just think it's a stigmatization of drugs.
No, I mean, that stuff is gone. Like, I mean, the idea that professional athletes wouldn't, it would beggar belief from me, because if I was like, from my own personal standpoint, if I stepped into here on an edible, it would be very bizarre. Like, I don't
Please
think
do it one
I don't
time.
think I could function. And
Gritted death
God-
punishment?
And God, if I had to do a game broadcast, it would be a disaster.
But if you
Why?
do, if you do use edibles, I do think we should do a show that way. Whittingham
I'm
on
down.
drugs is a
I get
great.
the giggles. Don't do that around me. If Woody's on drugs and I'm on drugs, oh man, that's gonna be
I
a
would
laugh
love that.
riot.
So in a segment where we criticize ayahuasca, let's pledge to do a show on drugs.
If Whitty's doing it, I'm in.
Yeah,
But Whitty has to do it.
yeah. Unfortunately for you, I took an oath of sobriety at 3 a.m. this morning.
Is it because of the Durant news?
No, it's just because I got really high, so high. I was like, I'm not getting high anymore. But Friday will roll around. I'll get high.
Daddy needs a drink.
I was gonna do it again. Another one of you guys beat me to it.
I didn't get high. I got drunk though.
Can we? I'd like to bring. We need about 10 more minutes, right?
Yeah, Danny just jumped in the Zoom from Radio Row, so we're gonna.
All right. So Stugotz wanted to go through some stuff, so I want to do this with them to set up God Bless Football. Can they hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, so through the tribulations of this week, the joke or the tapestry of the joke has been, whatever, God Bless Football derails everything, and then now today it's just been It Roars to Life, one of America's most popular, podcasts is on Radio Row, and they talk to football, everybody in football. So I'm just going to go through your list, and I'm going to treat this as sort of something that sells the next 2 hours and what you're doing the rest of the week with what it is that you're putting out. And I'm just going to do it by going through your list of the things that you and Billy texted me last night, okay?
Yeah, but hold on. Dan's trying to go to us here, but he has Hawk, right?
Yeah, tell him.
Oh, but I could just do all of this with Hawk. Like, it's not, I could do this with you guys and just have him be part of show as opposed to talking to him.
Yeah, but I don't know if Billy needs this time to set anything up.
I could sit here for a minute. I just need to go print out all the guest stuff.
But okay, so before you have to do everything though, Billy, you understand what I'm telling you guys? I'm sorry for the for like bombarding you with prep, but the way I've been trying to set up the show and the week is that now God Bless Football has arrived. They're going to spend the next 3 days into Saturday kicking ass, just bombarding you. What happened? What are you guys making faces about?
How old do you think Charlie Strong is?
I'm gonna say 54.
Sue, any guesses? How old do you think Charlie Strong is?
Play the game.
I'm gonna say 71.
He ruins the game every time.
It's the other. You go the other way. You go the other way.
24.
No. Give me an honest guess.
Charlie Strong. I'm gonna say an honest guess, Mike. I'm gonna say 39.
64.
He's 62 years old.
That is insane.
Charlie Strong is 62
Thank you.
Impossible.
years old.
He looks good.
He's the new leader in the clubhouse for this game. Paul Rudd, see you later. Jason Bateman, gone.
How?
Black
think
don't crack, that's how.
You think he looks better at his age than anybody?
How is he 62 years old? How old is your dad?
68?
No.
That is wild.
No.
Your dad's that young?
So what I would do, Stugotz, is I just as Hawk sits there, and
Right.
I'd like to just do show around him, right? I don't want to interview Hawk. I'll welcome him in, but I'm just going to ask you guys to interact with him on all these things, right? The Mad Dog sound, whatever, like one after another. I'll throw the thing to you, and you tell me like that. I just want to go through these one after another.
Okay. Hawk.
So we want to go 10, 12 minutes.
We're going to use some of that preamble we did there. So, like, kind of make it seem like
Yes.
you're picking up from where we were.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I will.
You are?
Just tell me when.
Arizona team, you guys good to go?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hawk, you good?
Hold on, let me wait for Danny to give me the go ahead. Whoa.
We at 10 o'clock have a very important interview. Just FYI.
Okay.
Hawk was not listening. Hawk was not listening when I was here. Andrew, we need your help in support of a bit here, if you don't mind.
What you need?
We're getting caught up with Stugotz and Billy. It's a joke we've been setting up throughout the week where they come in and they make a mess for 3 days, they derail everything, but now they've gotten their shit together. And now their mighty beast of God Bless Football roars to life. And so that's where we're headed.
Hawk,
Okay.
how old do you think Charlie Strong is?
How old do I think Charlie Strong is?
Yeah. Dangerous game. Be careful, Hawk.
71.
Oh, Jesus, how did you get
Oh,
the same
come
guess
on.
that Stugotz did?
Come on.
Hey, you don't know how to play the game. He's 62.
You're not as impressed as we are by how young Charlie Strong looks. You made him 9 years older than he is.
It's hard, man. I don't know. It's a good 71.
Yep. A young 71.
Yeah.
Yeah.
64. Like, yeah, okay.
Mhm.
That's a tough one, though.
What color is that jacket? We're saying cognac.
I like cognac. I like cognac. I don't really know how to describe the color, mostly because I'm one of the 1 in 12 men who are partially colorblind.
Really?
Yeah.
You're colorblind?
Yeah. I'm. It's statistics, man. Don't act like it's so crazy.
What can't you see? Reds and greens?
Reds and greens mess me up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
Pinks.
Yeah.
Screw with me.
Huh.
There's an age-old debate of a tennis ball, like what color it is.
Whoa.
What color is a tennis ball?
To me, it's yellow.
Nah.
My kids all say green.
Mine's blue.
Hawk.
Blue balls.
I see what you did there.
What happened?
Hawk,
It's the
during
height
the,
of entertainment television. It's the height of entertainment audio. Stugotz blurting blue balls. God bless football has arrived. Andrew Hawkins has arrived. The jacket he is wearing seems very expensive. It seems like he has an uncommon amount of style. What does that smell like, Stugotz? Andrew Hawkins' jacket, because it seems like a very nice material.
Money.
Yes.
Hey,
Can I smell it?
Yeah, you should.
You should.
while he smells you, Hawk, during the color rush days of Thursday Night Football, they were. What does it smell like?
It smells like Hawk's virtual reality company.
There it is.
Ah.
I love it.
Oh, he's doing business out there. Wait a minute.
Yes, he is.
Is this corporate Hawk? This isn't Andrew Hawkins, our friend and football player.
It's a mix.
This is the cock of the walk.
Yeah, Dan, I will tell you this, that we saw Hawk this morning. He's already tired of Radio Row. Like I'm just getting started and he's exhausted.
Oh, it's so
already.
sad.
Yeah.
Andrew, it's so sad out there. What are you doing? You're selling your corporate thing out there and people are grabbing at you and it's gross.
Absolutely. I mean, it's weird jumping into all these different mindsets. This is your friend of the family Hawk version. This is not corporate Hawk, aka Cock.
Yeah.
This is not him. But it is funny because I've been, I think, 13 radio rows, and if you see the players in their prime with their 7-person entourage, don't touch him, don't get near him, he's busy. And then over the years, you see the entourage get smaller,
Right.
until then they're hosting a podcast here 13 years later. They can't get any guests on, or they're walking around by
So true.
themselves
Yes.
where they can't get interviews. I've seen the whole thing. And I've walked around these for 13 years by myself, same status, and everyone's like, oh, Hawk, you're here, you're back. It gets boring after a while, Dan, that's all I'm saying.
So what about your company?
Yeah.
Oh, company's great. Yeah, company's great. Status Pro. Launched our VR product this September that we talked about on here. It's done great. Fastest selling sports game in VR history. So that's really cool. You get to play quarterback in the NFL game. So I'm out here doing my spiel there too, baby.
What's that feel like, playing quarterback in an NFL game?
It depends on who you play for. It's a lot different experience for the Chicago Bears than it would be, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right.
Well, Hawk, or Cock, as we like to call you, stay there for a second because God bless football has indeed roared to life. They're not screwing around anymore. They've been screwing around.
Doggy Canal walking in. There's nothing like a doggy stroll in to Radio Row. Just give me a finger point, Dan. Finger point.
What are the doggy stories you guys are telling on God Bless Football? I heard something about Mad Dog was blistering Stephen A. because of how hard he's selling his book.
Yeah, well, listen, a couple of things have happened here on the Mad Dog front. We have a front row seat to his show. So Billy saw the Legendary Open yesterday. He's joining us today. Billy has fallen in love with Christopher Mad Dog Russo. Is that fair to say? Like, he now sees why I have been such a big fan of his for so long. Is that fair, Bill?
I told him that it's more of a lust. I told him that for the weekend, this is great, but I'm not going to probably pay for a subscription to listen to his show every day. And then when High Heat comes back for baseball season, maybe I'll check it out. But he's great. He touched me, Dan, while he was telling me a story to grab my attention.
But you're going to support Mad Dog, or you're just happy to be around him, or you like him? Why?
Yes. I just I like he's cool to be around, but I don't know.
He's very engaging. He's charming. He told Billy a story. He put his hand on Billy's wrist, which you love that, didn't you?
It was unexpected.
It was unexpected.
It was a little uncomfortable, but
it means he likes you. And so Doggy, and then he just ripped into Stephen A's book. He's tired of Stephen A. He's tired of the promotion of Stephen A's book. By the way, Stephen A. going to join you today to promote his book.
That's right.
And so But Billy has he's seen Mad Dog in a different light now. He now understands why I like him so much.
Well, it doesn't seem like it. It seems
I
like
like him.
Well, Billy's been up, all night pretty much. He's tired.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me. Okay, so you guys are tired, and now we're going to see why, because you guys talk to everybody in football for God Bless Football, and all this content is going to be coming out over the next couple of days. But you guys also have a day after your day, right, Billy? Are you excited about this, like this thing with Golic, the smoking cigars, that party, or is that no?
Well, I don't know that we're going to make it to that. If the past couple of days have proven any sort of pattern, I don't think we're going to make it to that. But also, he told us you guys better be there because this was very expensive. So, and Dan, I didn't pack a suit for nothing. You know what I mean? So far, I've
You
just
don't
been
need to
here.
wear a suit there, man.
You're gonna be way overdressed.
I looked up pictures. Everybody was in suits the past couple of years.
I love
What,
it.
what should I wear?
I mean,
Can I borrow that jacket?
You don't need to wear a suit if you're under 55.
Mhm.
That's like the suit age.
Preposterous.
Suits are out.
Charlie Strong is wearing a suit.
Charlie Strong is wearing a suit. Again, 71 isn't crazy,
Yeah.
right? Because also black don't crack. So it's like,
Yep.
yeah, he's 62, but he might be 106.
I am also colorblind in that respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what should I wear? A sweater?
Wear a suit.
Yeah, sweater's nice.
I don't mind a suit.
My
love it.
insides are 55.
I love a good
There you go.
sweater.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stugotz, JuJu is out there. JuJu is doing our social media. You guys, we were just talking before Hawk about whether guys in the league or in any of the leagues are perhaps playing games while on edibles, because now we've normalized drugs this way. But Stugotz, you sent JuJu out to a cannabis store to get legal drugs, and what happened?
He brought the entire store back. I have enough weed to last me a lifetime. I don't know what I'm only going to be here 2 more days. I have no idea what to do with it. But JuJu came back with the biggest bag of marijuana I have ever seen. And I will tell you that Ricky Williams, man, is he growing some good shit. Holy hell. I mean, it is unbelievable.
Destiny.
I want to.
It's weird. JuJu, I know you felt this, right? It is weird to be able to walk around with big bags of marijuana in front of canine units and cops, and they don't stop you or say a word.
Good day, sir.
It's unbelievable, man.
I gotta circle back to something that Hawk said when he revealed that he's colorblind. I imagine football is a little tricky. Did you ever like dive into an end zone thinking that it was the end zone, but it was just like the 30-yard line? Did you think that you were getting a lead block when it was an opposing team? The color rush days of Thursday Night Football must have been mad confusing for you.
You guys are going to go over my career highlights where I get blown up, and you're like, wow, this makes so much more sense now. He legit did not see that guy.
That is great.
No, it didn't affect the football side of it, luckily, because jerseys are dark and light, right? So it's easy, but it's not. I'm not completely colorblind. There's just a lot of colors that get mixed up in this world. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, how many guys do you think, if you had to assign a percentage, guys who are smoking right before the game or they're playing football on an edible?
How many guys percentage wise? I think it depends. We'll say that. I know I played for Cleveland during the Josh Gordon years. So there's a lot of guys that do that for sure.
You would have thought they would be scared because of everything that happened to Josh Gordon.
Well, no, I mean, I think it depends. I mean, the system in and of itself of, how they regulate that never quite made as much sense. And I think eventually they're going to do away with all of it. We've already seen the NBA and people start to take steps towards that. To their point, I live in LA. You can smoke weed wherever. It's like they're like cigarettes now.
Right.
So I think it's going to get to that point. But there's obviously a lot of marijuana use in society, let alone like football players are probably just a subset of what the larger percentages are.
Can we get some help here? I need some help, because if Billy is going to get drowned and swamped by having to be a babysitter for Stugotz, and God Bless Football is about to give you, like it is about to put out, there will be no podcast in America over the next 3 days that does what this one does, just getting to everyone in football. And Stugotz, Billy needs help going to a party and having fun, because it takes a long time to edit all of these and do everything that he's doing. And so what I want to ask you is, I feel like Billy right here, he's sort of laissez-faire and he's being cocky, it feels like. And Has he been a
Weird
special?
thing has happened here, Dan. I'm telling you. Really cool people think that Billy is cool, and therefore Billy now thinks that he's
I knew
cool.
it. I knew it. I knew that's what was happening.
It's the weirdest thing. It is. It's weird that they think he's cool. I'm talking about like the coolest people on Radio Row. They have sat down with us. They think Billy's cool. It's gotten to Billy's head. He now thinks he's cool, and that's why he's kind of acting the way he's at. He's big timing me, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I think you had a big part in that, Stugotz. I think because they have it's the scale. It's the Stugotz scale. So
he's
it's
sitting
you
next to me.
and Billy.
Wow, Billy can't be cool on his own. Oh, Billy
Is extremely cool. I concur that. But I will say he is like, David Hasselhoff in the 90s cool when he sits next to Stugotz.
I also don't say much after they say that.
You got and that creates the mystique.
That's the cool factor.
Say less. That's
Is this what's happening? That Billy's been quiet all week and a mystery man, and people love him on the show, and now Billy's a cool person? Do they know who he is, or they're just sitting with you at a desk and they like his personality on your show?
Does Debo Samuel know who I am? Of course he does. Get out of here.
The problem is Billy didn't know who Debo was.
That's not true.
Finally, Billy gets me.
What does that have to do with you?
Dan,
Stay in your corner.
I am telling you, Debo Samuel.
Not everything's about you, Tony.
Thinks Billy is the coolest person on Radio Row. And then later on that day, and they had no interaction, Jamar Chase sat down and said the same fucking thing. It's unbelievable. And he's not cool. And I got and because I'm upset about this.
He wants everyone to know.
Yeah.
I am upset about this. And Billy has noticed I'm insanely jealous that this has happened. And so he is kind of honed in on me. But Jamar Chase, Debo Samuel think that Billy is very cool. And all I was trying to explain to them is, I'm glad you think it, but I actually know him. And I've known him for 15 years. And I love him. But cool is not what Billy is.
But can you help us with this? Can Andrew Hawkins help us with this party? Billy's going to go the way he's dressed now, or in the one suit that he brought, which is too much. Can we?
Or a sweater.
Super Bowl week.
Can we get Billy cool? Okay, Billy, would you like any help here, or can you handle?
No, I mean, like this is a Dick Butkus thing. Like I'll be fine in that crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be
Suit,
good. Okay.
suit. You'll be better with the suit than the hoodie.
Yeah,
Right.
no, the hoodies. I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, Dan, this is an older thing. Keep in mind,
Dick Butkus.
Ron Jaworski's cigar party.
Yeah.
All right, Jaws.
Oh, it's the Jaws
Yeah,
cigar
yeah,
party.
Yeah, they told us that after the NFL honors, a lot of the players end up over there. So we'll see.
Is that what they
happens.
said?
That's what they said.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, look,
Did you never went over there?
I haven't
you
made
ever
it
honored?
to it yet.
No
I've,
offense.
never honored at the NFL honors.
Mm.
Been invited to many Jaws cigar parties.
Right.
Haven't made it over there.
Oh, wow. Did you see what he just did? Did you see what Hawkins is telling you is he's got a lot of options as a Radio Row veteran, and he's telling you guys are going to a bad party. He says he's been invited every year and he never goes. That's what he just told you.
I just have never found the time.
Oh,
Right. That's okay.
You
Jaws
find the
is my
time,
guy.
Andrew.
I love
Andrew, you find the time for the good parties.
I mean, that's what the cool guys do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh no, Billy. Oh
I'm
no.
not here to party. I'm here to work, guys. I don't know about you.
Andrew, what color's the football?
Green, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, the strangest
Right.
part, Dan, about this whole like cool thing is that Stugotz has obsessively been going and asking groups of people that know who I am. Is Billy cool? Like I was told that he had Jess and he had Gojo and he had Golic Senior and he had a bunch of people at DraftKings like cornered just asking them this question when I was still over here editing.
I will tell you that Smetty said that there is a cool factor to Billy. She did say that. Now, Golic said no way. And Golic
That's
also
not-
told Billy if he doesn't show up to Jaws' party, he's going to break him in half. So,
Okay. That's,
yeah.
they wouldn't threaten a cool guy. But
That's-
I will say,
that's not
Billy,
what
you
he
are
said.
cool. Objectively, you are cool.
Thank you.
The quiet confidence, the quiet, it projects confidence.
Well,
so
it's because he's
that's
shy.
what's cool.
I mean,
Yeah, but that works. That works for people.
okay.
The coolest people you know, you don't really hear anything from.
You're right. You're right. That's
Right?
fair. Yeah. It's the loud, blustery types, right?
Yeah, that's how you know. It's like-
Insecure.
You remove all doubt.
Yeah.
You're talking too much.
I should know.
Hawkins, what are the good parties? Because they're going tonight. It sounds like you're not saying it, you're being polite, but it's you're saying they're going to the old Jaws party. Dick Butkus. That's the old football party. They're going to steakhouse and cigars. It's going to be a slower party than the one you're going to.
It's gonna be a little slow, but that's good. That's cool. And so, like, cool is subjective, is what I'm saying.
Right.
That's a cool party.
Mhm.
I'm not going to it. I wasn't invited this year, Billy. So you're on the list.
Wow.
There's that, right?
You want to be my +1? Because Stugotz kind of been a dick lately.
The Fanatics party should be jumping.
You got
The Rick Ross party last night was really good.
Yeah,
You went to that
was
last night?
good.
Yeah,
Really? You
well,
got in?
I stopped in and I left.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Power move.
Yeah,
Mike-
there's like
No, wait a minute. Mike Ryan's giving you the side eye. Hawkins is giving off a little too cool for school here, where he peeps into the cool. Oh yeah, I get into the Rick Ross party. I'm just there for 10 minutes, get a drink, swing in, swing out, ignore Butkus, ignore Jaws. I've got bigger parties to go to.
I'm 13 deep in this thing, Dan. I've been to the parties, man. The parties change. Remember, like the Maxim party was the big party for the week.
Yep.
That's not it anymore. Then Rolling Stone gets it, and it's like it moves. The same people.
Hawk, we're pretty convinced that JuJu could just, without a ticket, without being on any list, could stroll into any single party he wants this week.
I honestly, I
Yeah.
told him yesterday when we were walking through the convention center that he should try to get into the game just by walking. He's gotten in absolutely everywhere. No one has checked a credential for him for absolutely anything.
Yeah.
He's just doing whatever he wants, and no one he just gives everybody a hug and keeps it moving.
He looks like a player.
Dan, JuJu just walks right into Sean Payton, and he's like, "Hey, great to see you, Coach." And Coach is like, "Hey, great to see you," and then gives him a big hug. And then JuJu comes back and tells us he smells like a Marlboro. I mean, I wish the Jets hired that coach. Jesus.
Where is JuJu right now? We have been negligent. I hope not on God Bless Football. I hope we hear from JuJu there because Stugotz, this is the first time you've gotten to party with JuJu, is it not? This is the first time that JuJu's been in charge of all the social media, running all the accounts for a week on the road with us, right?
He's the star of the proceedings here on Radio Row. Everyone loves JuJu, but what JuJu has been is a ray of light for me, Billy, and Danny. And what I mean by that is, Radio Row has its ups, it has its downs, it has its technical difficulties, it has its challenges. But JuJu has been so positive that whenever any of us get down, his positivity and his smile lifts us right back up. And I had no idea, because I've never spent this much time with JuJu, just how positive he was all the time. And so I could speak on behalf of me and Billy and Danny and tell you that he has been the MVP of our proceedings.
Excellent.
For exactly those
I am happy to hear that. I'm proud of you, JuJu. Also, he's just high. And you guys,
That's it. And I have an entire store of marijuana in my hotel room.
And so he's keeping it positive. JuJu, I just want, though, because we've been negligent so far in 4 days of haphazard. I'll call it haphazard coverage, as this thing now roars to life. Give me 2 minutes of the most interesting things you've seen and done Super Bowl week, chasing down and babysitting the babysitter as Stugotz runs Radio Row.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, look at that technical difficulty already. First and foremost, thank you so much, Stugotz, for those wonderful words. Oh my God, like my mom is gonna really be so happy with that. Like I am as well. I'm about to cry right now, but thank you so much, brother. It means the world to me.
I love you, dude.
This has been awesome experience for me. Like just being around Stugotz, being around Billy, like he said, and seeing his excitement. He's sitting right across from Mad Dog Russo. He ain't stopped smiling since we got here. All the people walking around, this is his element. And I'm so honored to be a part of this at all. Metal Art Media, Carl, Bilma, Laura, all of y'all, man. Salute to y'all. I love y'all.
JuJu, I was not looking for an acceptance speech.
You got one. Hold on. Look, bro, you got one.
Listen, you threw it to JuJu, and JuJu does what he wants when you throw it to him.
I know. JuJu, yes, but
don't you dare yell at JuJu.
JuJu, you know what this.
In Miami, look, you don't bring your ass to the Super Bowl. You don't got nothing to say right now. Bring yourself to the Super Bowl, Dan. We need you here. Everybody, every time I talk to anybody, where's Dan? Where's Dan?
Sure.
I be like, he's sitting his ass in Miami, getting mad at everything that's moving.
I need content from.
I got content for your ass. I'm about to interview Justin Fields in about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I got you, big bro. You got to know.
Yeah.
I talked to Ryan Goff. No, not Ryan Goff. Jared Goff last night.
Goff.
I talked to my boy. Salute to 10-Day Tony. I talked to that boy Trevor Lawrence last night.
Don't give him credit for that.
You feel me? Come on, man. We outside, baby. We got content coming, baby, as fast as we can get it up.
Content for that ass.
Content for that ass, baby.
Yeah, Drinksie.
Andrew Hawkins, thank you for stopping by. And JuJu, and if you're not going to give me highlights from the week, then just tell us what's coming up on God Bless Football, why people should listen, because right now the thing is going to really start happening. These guys are putting out all of the stuff they've done from the Super Bowl. Why should people be listening to God Bless Football?
Yes, sir. God Bless Football, man. We are the pinnacle station at the actual Radio Row. Everybody who walks by, they stop by the table and show Stugotz some love and show him how much they care for him as well throughout these years, as well as you, big brother. We all love you, man. Also, too, everybody here, I'm talking about since we've been here, has been asking about you, brother. Like, for real, we all love you. The world loves you, big bro. We need you out here, man. I know it's a pain, it's a hassle, but I promise to God, you before you, I don't want to be mortal, but before things could possibly change, bro, I need you to see this love, bro, because these people is throwing flowers your way, big bro, and they really love you, man, as well as me, bro. I love you, big bro.
I think he just killed you.
JuJu, you not only killed me, that's $50. I asked you to sell God Bless Football.
He did before. In JuJu's defense, he told you everything that was going to be on God Bless Football, and then you asked him what's coming up.
Guys,
we got a lot going on.
Listen, we love you. But Adam Vinatieri's here, so we have to go.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Radio Row's all about.
Yeah, Vinatieri. I mean, what are we going to do?
We're going to talk to a kicker.
I have to talk to him about Brett Mahar or whatever his name is. and DiGiorno Pizza.
Hey, I'm getting kicked off for Vinatieri. It's crazy. This is what my life has come to.
I'm so
Thanks,
sorry.
chaps.
But he's won so many Super Bowls.
He did. I didn't come close.